BTS news today. The Los Angeles sky stretched in a clear blue hue that morning, as if welcoming something far more meaningful than just another summer day. From the window of a downtown penthouse, two figures stood side by side, silent but full of meaning: Kim Taehyung and Taehyung Jungkook. A gentle ocean breeze drifted into the room where they were getting ready. That day wasn't just a day off, not merely a moment of rest amid their packed schedules as members of BTS. That day, the world would hear their voices again, see their faces, and feel a closeness that had so far only been implied through screens. That day, they decided to go live. Fully. No script. No studio set. Just the two of them and the world. At 6 p.m. LA time, Weverse notifications exploded. BTS, Taehyung and Jungkook live appeared on millions of screens, sparking an uncontrollable wave across social media. No countdown. No teaser. Just one click that transported everyone into a virtual space where two stars sat on a large carpet, dressed casually, faces bare of makeup, yet radiating something more genuine than anything ever seen on stage. Annyeong. Jungkook greeted softly, his voice calm, eyes looking into the camera with a natural warmth. Taehyung followed with his signature smile. It's been a while, huh? We rarely go live together. Today, we just want to be with you. That's all. There was no background music, no glamorous lighting, just the sunset lights streaming through the large windows, casting a golden silhouette on their faces. The world seemed to pause, suspended in a space of comfort and honesty rarely offered by the entertainment stage. Jungkook picked up his acoustic guitar. His fingers moved slowly, strumming the strings, and a soft melody began to flow. They hadn't planned to perform, but amid conversation about their dinner last night, pizza, soft laughter, and grumbles about jet lag, Jungkook suddenly began singing a piece of a song they wrote back during trainee days, in the quiet late-night hours at the dorm. Taehyung looked at him, slowly joining in. The song felt like a small secret finally shared with the world. Remember this song? Jungkook asked between melodies. How could I forget? Taehyung replied. I cried quietly after you played it back then. Jungkook chuckled softly, but his voice trembled. Me too. I thought I was alone then. Silence followed. But it wasn't awkward. It was warm, like an old hug rediscovered. They spoke of hard times, moments when they both felt drained, when the only escape was each other's voice. Taehyung shared about a night in New York when he cried in his hotel room, and Jungkook knocked just to sit there without saying a word. Sometimes, just being there is enough, Taehyung said. Yeah, we used to think we had to always be strong. But it turns out, being weak together is okay too, Jungkook added, his gaze dropping, eyes shimmering. That live broadcast shifted from a casual stream to a confession. They turned page after page of their memories, from debut to their last concert in Busan. They recalled how after that concert, they sat on the empty stage, after all the lights were out, just to slowly say goodbye to the past. Everything's changed, Taehyung said, gazing out the window. But you're still the one I look for when I'm tired. Jungkook smiled faintly. Me too. Sometimes. I'm scared of losing that. It won't be lost, Taehyung answered firmly. As long as we can still talk like this, it'll never disappear. Comments flooded the screen. This is the most healing live ever. They're not idols here. They're just two human beings. I'm crying. They read a few comments, laughed, teared up, and sang old songs that had once saved them on doubtful nights. Jungkook sang Still With You, while Taehyung hugged his knees, his eyes misty. When the song ended, silence returned. But it was a silence full of relief, like a wound finally breathing. We used to be afraid to show our weakness, Jungkook said quietly. But today, I think for the first time, I'm not afraid. Taehyung nodded. Today, we're just two people trying to stay whole. The live lasted nearly 2 hours. No breaks, no filters, just Taehyung and Jungkook, like old friends finally reconnecting under a sky that understood everything. And when they finally said goodbye, with a soft whisper and a sincere smile, millions of hearts around the world knew they had witnessed something beyond content. They had seen two souls who grew up together, endured together, and on that day, chose to simply be present, as they are. After the live ended, the silence in the room felt different. Not empty, but full of unspoken words, emotions only felt in silence. Taehyung still sat cross-legged, while Jungkook lay on the carpeted floor, staring at the ceiling as the sun slowly set. No one spoke first. They didn't need to. They had already said so much. Maybe too much. But that was why they both felt lighter, like a long-carried burden had finally been put down. 5 minutes after the stream ended, their phones blew up with notifications. HYBE staff, fellow members watching secretly, and even their mothers. But neither of them opened their phones just yet. "I'm scared to check my phone," Jungkook muttered, turning on his side to face Taehyung. "Scared I'll regret being too honest." Taehyung didn't answer right away. He just smiled softly, then tossed a small pillow gently at Jungkook's chest. "If we're not honest, we can't breathe," he said. "That live wasn't just for them. It was for us, too." "Hyung," Jungkook whispered. "Thank you." Taehyung simply nodded, then closed his eyes briefly. Time moved slowly that night, as if the world was giving them space to process all that had been shared. But outside their penthouse, the world was on fire with emotion. Clips from the live flooded TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube in less than an hour. A snippet of Jungkook saying, "Sometimes I'm scared of losing this," racked up over 12 million views in just 3 hours. Fans reacted with tears. Others sat in silence, overwhelmed by the depth rarely seen from their idols. On the Weverse forums, armies from all over the world wrote open letters to the duo. One letter from a fan in Brazil read, "I used to think you were too far away to understand. But after that live, I felt like I was in the same room. You don't have to be perfect. You're enough. You're real." The next day, the world still hadn't recovered. The hashtag Taehyung Healing Live trended in 58 countries. HYBE made no official statement, but reportedly, the CEO personally messaged Taehyung and Jungkook with just 2 words, "Thank you." Meanwhile, the morning in their penthouse began with soft smiles and 2 cups of black coffee. Jungkook wore an oversized hoodie that nearly swallowed him, while Taehyung, half asleep with tousled hair and puffy eyes from crying the night before, shuffled into the kitchen. "Your phone won't stop buzzing," Taehyung said, pointing at the dining table. "Yours too," Jungkook replied, letting out a small laugh. They exchanged a look and sighed in sync. "Want to go out for a bit?" Taehyung suggested. "Maybe the beach?" LA sunsets feel like they fit the mood from last night. Jungkook only nodded. Without makeup, without security, they disguised themselves the best they could. Hoodies, masks, sunglasses, and headed toward Venice Beach. The LA sky turned golden orange as they arrived. The ocean welcomed them with soft waves, as if it understood just how much peace they needed. They walked along the shoreline. Quiet. Only the wind and water spoke. "I actually thought about quitting," Jungkook said suddenly. His voice was nearly drowned out by the wind, but Taehyung heard him. Taehyung turned slowly. "When? Earlier this year. When we were all busy doing our own things. I felt lost. Didn't know what to do, where to go. Then you asked me to come to LA. And last night, saved me." Taehyung stopped walking. He looked into Jungkook's eyes and took his hand. "If you disappear, I disappear too. We've been mirrors for each other too long. One side can't reflect the light alone." Jungkook looked down, voice barely audible. "I'm tired, Hyung." "Me too," Taehyung admitted. "But we still have each other." Then they sat in the sand, letting the sun sink into the horizon, letting time slowly heal.